Okay, welcome to Daily 3D Revolve. Today I'm going to be doing a Design Spark mechanical tutorial, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to create an avocado trimmer. So we're going to go ahead and launch the program. Go up here to File, New Design, and I'm going to come back to File, go down to Design Spark Options, and then we're going to navigate over to Units, change this from Metric to Imperial, and then click OK. Now we're going to go ahead and change that to plan view. We're going to minimize, and we're going to drag in our reference file. I'm not going to be making this exactly like this reference file, but it's going to be similar. So I'll go ahead and full size this. We want to click on the actual JPEG file, go to move, and then we want to rotate this. And then we want to go ahead and scale this. We want it to be about 7 inches long. So we're going to go ahead and put a reference line out here. And then we'll click here. And then, oops, this is in millimeters. It didn't change over. So we're going to go back up to Design Spark Options. Sometimes you got to hit it a couple times. Okay, now it's better. So we're going to grab that line. We're going to click there and drag over to the right and just type in 7. Okay, now we'll go ahead and click off of it. Now we're going to grab any corner there, hold down the Shift key, and we'll just scale these up. This is too big, so let's scale it back down a little bit. Hold down Shift key, make sure it doesn't move. So a little bit big, so we're going to go ahead and hold down scale. And then that's good. Close enough. Now we're going to go ahead and put this kind of in the middle here, the best that we can. We're going to go ahead and put a line from there over to here. Now we're going to select the click off. We're going to go ahead and right mouse click on this, set it as mirror. Now we're going to Control plus to zoom in. We're going to use our rectangle tool, so we'll go ahead and grab that. And we're going to go stretch that out and then kind of pull it over to the right. Right there. Now we're going to do the same over here. We'll grab that rectangle tool again. And we're going to go stretch that and then kind of pull that along there. Okay. This I'm going to redo. It's a little too big, so we'll go ahead and delete that. I'll grab the rectangle tool again. Just click and drag out and then drag over. That's good. Right there. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and get our this tool up here, which is the tangent arc. We're going to go from there over to here. Okay. Now we're going to grab our trim away tool. We're going to get rid of this stuff here. Okay. Now we're going to get rid of this mirror line. We don't need that for right now. Now we're going to click on select. We're going to drag a marquee around what we just created. And we're going to come up here to offset curve. And we're going to offset that a little bit. Let's offset at 0.27. Okay, that looks good. Okay, this is going to be our main part in the middle. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and create the blade here. Go ahead and get our line tool. You're going to come straight across, which is 2.2. Okay, actually let's undo that. Let's make this a little bit longer. So we'll go ahead and Stretch that out to 2.3. Now we're going to select the click off. Now we're going to get our 3-point arch. Going to click on that endpoint there, come up to here, and then we'll go ahead and make this rounded corner here. This looks good right here. So select the click off. I'm going to go ahead and put a slot in here instead of these two little circles. So we'll go ahead and get the circle tool. Going to do an 0.25 circle. And then we'll go ahead and get the circle tool again. Go ahead and copy this. We're going to click on it. With the keyboard keys, we're going to do Control C, then we're going to do Control V, then we're going to come up here to move, and we're going to move this over. Just go 0.7. Okay, select. Now you want to go Control V to put the circle there back. So we're going to go ahead and grab our line tool, go from that point there over. Okay, now we're going to get our trim away those two pieces there. Okay, that's going to be our blade. This will be our bigger part, and this is going to be the scoop. Let's go ahead and Control plus. Let's pan over. Going to go ahead and put some teeth in here. We'll go ahead and get our circle tool. Let's do 0.2 is a little too big. Let's try that again. Click. Let's go 0.15. Okay, that'll be good. All right, now we're going to go ahead and click on that. We're going to go to the move, and we're going to move it down a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We want 12 of these. So we're going to go ahead and go to move. We're going to check this box here to create a pattern. We're going to move it over to here. So we're going to go tab. Oops, something happened there. Tab, put in 2 inches. Tab, 12. Okay, now we'll select the click off. Now we're going to come up here to trim away. And we're going to trim away this stuff here. It's going to be our little saw teeth here. I'm not making these super pointy. They don't really have to be. Just good enough to cut with. Trim out all this stuff that we don't need here. Okay, that's going to be good. So now we have our blade in here. We have our little slot in here. So what I think I might do is move this slot over a little bit. Undo. Control minus. Let's go ahead and select that slot. Go to the move tool. Let's move it over a little bit to the right, and then let's move it down a little bit too. All right, that's going to be good. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and pan over. Going to put this piece in here. So we're going to go ahead and put a line. Let's just go from over here. I guess this is the midpoint. No, that's actually not the midpoint. Let's undo that. Let's get our line tool. We're going to go from midpoint just straight over here. Doesn't matter where we end it. And we'll select the click off. We're going to right mouse click on this line, set as mirror. Okay, so what we want to do here is create this shape here. So I think what I'm going to do to create that is use the spline tool. This is going to be the most accurate. We're going to just click and kind of drag with our mouse, or if you have a keypad like I have, just go ahead and click and drag. Now for some reason it didn't draw this bottom part, so let's undo that. Go right to there, let's select. Let's make sure this has the mirror on. So right mouse click. Okay, there we go. We didn't have set as mirror on. So let's go back to our spline tool. Let's click and drag. Click and drag. Okay, and then when you're done, let's double click. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get rid of that mirror line. We don't need it. We're going to add some thickness to this line right here. So we'll go ahead and get our offset. Okay, we're going to pull that in 0.15. Let's try that for thickness. It looks pretty good. Now we're going to offset that the same 0.15. Looks pretty good. Then we're going to go ahead and get our trim away. Trim away this little piece here. Okay, now we have our outside part. Now we'll put these in later. So right now we're going to, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 of these. So we're going to go ahead and get our select tool. We're going to click on this, hit delete. Let's control minus. We're going to go ahead and go to 3D mode. And we're going to start pulling this stuff out. Okay, this is not pulling here because it's, for some reason, it looks like it's not a solid line. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get rid of that. And then we're going to go ahead and go to the offset. Let's undo that. Let's go back to there. Can I do that? Work with inside of it? No, I want to come to the outside. So let's go to Control Plus to zoom in. Let's figure out why this isn't working. What we can do meanwhile is go ahead and get rid of the stuff that we don't need. Go ahead and delete that. Let's spin this. Got a little tape measure here. I'm going to figure out how thick we want all this stuff to be. So probably, I'd say we need to go a 1/2 inch for the middle part. So we're going to select that. We're going to do pull. And we're going to come over here to pull from both sides. And then we're going to type in 0.5. That looks a little too thick, so I'm going to undo that. Let's type in 0.3. Okay, 0.3 is a little bit better. Okay, now we'll go ahead and spin this. Let's go ahead and add some thickness to this blade. Select the blade. Same thing, pull from both sides. This is going to 0.1. Okay, 0.1 looks good. Let's go ahead and spin that, make sure it's not too thick. Okay, now we're going to have to figure out what's going on with this. this is okay here, but the inside needs to be fixed. So let's go ahead and go to top view. I think I just have to kind of close these up right here, and it should be fine. So let's go ahead and get the line tool. Go from the endpoint to endpoint, and then we'll select the click off. Grab the line tool again. Go from endpoint to endpoint. Select the click off, and now we'll go to pull. Now this is okay. So now we'll get rid of this. Let's go ahead and spin this. So we want to add a little bit of thickness to that. So we'll go ahead and go to pull, we'll click there. We're going to come over here to pull from both sides, and then we'll type in 0.3 like the mid part. Spin this. Not real crazy about that little piece right there, but let's undo that. All right, so let's undo a couple times. Undo, undo. Okay, let's undo until we get to this part here, and then we're going to just extend this into the handle a little bit. So we'll go ahead and click there, and we'll pull down, pull over, and then we'll close it up right there. And then we're going to do the same on the bottom part. We'll click the endpoint there, come up a little bit, come over, then come down to close it off. Go back to the 3D mode. Let's go ahead and spin this. Let's get rid of this middle part. We don't need it. Let's go to pull, select that, type in 0.3. Oh, let's undo that. Let's go from both sides. Forgot that. So go ahead and click here, pull from both sides. Type in 0.3. Okay, let's go 0.15. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Okay, we got the main blade. We have our little handle here. And then we have our loop that we have to add 6 little pieces to. So we're going to go ahead and go to top view. Control minus. I'm going to put some lines in here. So actually we'll go Control plus to zoom in. We're going to grab our pan tool and pan over. Let's put one right here in the middle. So let's go from midpoint. Okay, we're going to come over to there. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and offset this. So we'll grab our offset. Let's go to 0.8, type that in, enter. Now we'll get the offset again and go to this side, 0.8. Okay. And now we're going to go cut the difference in there. So we'll go offset, and then we'll go 0.4, this is half. Click that, come up 0.4. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's only 5 scoops cutouts, but I'm okay with that. So we're going to go ahead and add some thickness to these. So roughly we want them to be about 1/8 of an inch. So we're going to go offset, and let's offset this 0.0625, and then we'll do the same on the bottom one, 0.0625. Okay, that's 0.06. That's a little too thick, so we're going to go change this again. We're going to do like Let's go 0.04. That should be good. And then we'll do the same on the bottom. Type in 0.04. Okay, now I'll do the same on these. 0.04. The bottom one, 0.04. And then we're going to just repeat the process. 0.04 for the top. 0.04 for the bottom. Same for these two. Okay, now we have one last one to do. 0.04 for the top and 0.04 for the bottom. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and get trim away. Let's cut these. Don't need the one in the middle, so we can get rid of that. Remember, this is going to be the kind of the blades that cut the avocado into sections once you split it. After we're done with this, we're going to go ahead and add some detail. Fillets, chamfers, whatever we need. Okay, we'll go ahead and get rid of these. Just take your time. This is a little tedious, but eventually we'll get there. Okay, so we got most of the blades done here. Get this part over here. Okay, get the one in the middle. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and spin this. And then we're going to pull. Let's get rid of the ones we don't need. So we'll hold down the control key. Start up at the top and then just get all those ones in the center there. Hit delete. Now we're going to go ahead and select all these by holding down the control key. Now we're going to pull, and we're going to use this up to feature, and we're going to pull up to there. Okay, looks good so far. It's our avocado trimmer. Okay, now what we want to do is go ahead and we're going to spin this around, and we're going to put our fillets on our chamfers on the inside. So we'll go ahead and select that line there. We're going to change it to chamfer. Let's go 0.03. Do the same there. Type in 0.03. Let me pan this over. Let's zoom in a little bit. Make sure that we have enough. Oops, sorry about that. Let's undo. Get our spin tool. Let's pan over a little bit. Make sure 0.03 is going to be enough to cut this avocado. Let's undo a couple times. I think I messed up right there. All right, so let's pan over. Let's select both of these. Hold down control key. Let's go over here and change it to chamfer. Type in 0.03. Okay, we can go a little bit more. So undo that. Let's type in 0.35 and see what we get. Okay, that's too much. 0.32. That's still too much. 0.3. Let's see, 0.3. Doesn't look like it's wanting to chamfer for us now. Excuse me. Okay, let's just try this again. Let's click there, hold down Control, click there. Let's go to Pool. Make that a chamfer, type in 0.3. All right, we're gonna have to manually do this, see what we can get away with. Oh, it's 0.03. Probably closer to, okay. 0.04 right there. Okay, now we're gonna do the same on all the rest of them. So what we'll do is go ahead and select these two. Make sure that this is on chamfer, 0.04. Okay, that's good. And then we'll get these two. Make sure it's on chamfer, 0.04. Click off, we'll get these two. Make sure it's on chamfer, 0.04. And then I get those last two, 0.04. Okay, so this is going to be the area that you use to scoop out your sections of avocado. We added a chamfer on it, so it's got some thickness to it. And now we're going to go ahead and rotate this around. We'll get the pull. We're going to select everything so that we got everything selected. Then we're going to go at least the top, and we're going to put a small chamfer in here, or a small fillet in here. We'll go 0.03. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and spin this around to the back side. Go pull. We'll click till everything is selected. Oh, 0.03. Okay. Now we want to do the same here. Go to Pool. Type in 0.03. Okay. Now we want to go ahead and pull. We want to select till everything, click till everything's selected. Type in 0.03. Okay. Details are coming out nice. Okay, we got to fill it around the outside. We have one side of the blade that's got a chamfer on it, so we'll add some thickness to the cutting area. We're going to go ahead and put a chamfer on here, so we'll go ahead and excuse me, change that and type in 0.03. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and pull again. Excuse me, I got allergies today. Click that line there, make sure that it's a chamfer, and then type in 0.03. Okay. And now we're going to click this till everything's selected, go to Pool, type in 0.03. Okay, there's our little fillet for that area. Now we'll flip this around to the back side, go grab the pole. We're going to click till everything's selected. Type in 0.03. All right, not too bad. Doesn't look too bad. Go ahead and spin this. The only thing I wanted to do is add a little bit of a depth to here to the blade. So we'll go ahead and Control plus to zoom in. And we'll just see what we can get away with here. Chamfer. I guess 0.02 is going to be about it. So 0.02, 0.02, and just kind of continue that all the way down. Maybe we can do multiples by holding down the Control key. Okay, and I type in 0.02. Okay, now what we're going to do is spin this till we have the back side there. Go ahead and pull. Click the first one, go to chamfer, and then click on the additional ones by holding down the Control key. Okay, type in 0.02. All right, we got a little bit of an edge there. Go ahead and spin this. I think for this purposes it'll work. I would have liked a little bit sharper, but that's okay. It's just an avocado. Let's go ahead and spin this one more time. Make sure we got enough detail on here. Okay, we put fillets here. We put a fillet here, a chamfer here. One side has the cutting blade. One side does not. So the last thing we're going to do here, click till everything's selected. We're going to put a it's not wanting to fill it for me. Let's go. I'm going to go ahead and leave that. I think it's okay like this. It's not really a point that's going to break, so we don't have to be concerned with adding fillet to that. So let's go ahead and keep it like this. Okay, that's going to be our avocado cutter. Let's go ahead and view this from the top. It's got a little serrated blade. It's got the blade on the other side, which we did with the chamfer. You could probably put a little hook here and hang this up in your kitchen. You could print this with a regular plastic, as long as it's food grade plastic. It probably should work pretty good. Okay, that's going to end today's tutorial. Hopefully you enjoy watching and you got something useful out of the video. Okay, thanks again for watching.